Hi, this is Andy. Who am I here with?
Bill 80, Associate Managing Editor for Innovation at the Chicago Tribune.
I'm Daniel Honigman, Social Media Coordinator / Strategy at the Chicago Tribune.
Yeah, so Daniel and I had met previously, but I was tweeting back and forth with Colonel Tribune, the Trib's Twitter entity, and we ended up finding out the real face behind the Colonel. And so, tell me, guys, what are you doing on Twitter? How did that come about, and what's the deal?
I've been fascinated by what a news site could do with Twitter, and fortunately Daniel showed up and had some ideas, and taking it from there. And today we're celebrating our going over 100 referrals from Twitter. So that's a milestone.
So what do you mean by referral?
People coming to the site from Twitter. I guess when I started here, we would get maybe 10 referrals a day from there.
If that, yeah.
So what do you mean coming to the site? Do you mean like
clicking through one of the mini links?
Got it. So good old-fashioned web traffic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
But we realized that, or when I came here, I realized that what I didn't want to do was just shovel an RSS feed onto Twitter, which is what a lot of people do.
Guilty.
And but there's no interaction there. So, just having covered marketing, what I wanted to do was set up, this character, Colonel Tribune, and we actually created a persona for Colonel Tribune. And
So therefore, you would know or start to see what kinds of stories the Colonel would recommend to folks who followed him on Twitter. So,
and there's just a real one-on-one interaction there with, just different stories, and if someone says something interesting that's Chicago related, maybe I'll respond to that. It's just getting down and dirty with the followers.
So how much time do you spend on it?
It's not a lot of time, and I think it's it's part of a greater thought that we should get out into various social media. So it's part of being out there. The Colonel's on Dig, the Colonel's on Facebook, the Colonel's on MySpace.
He's on LinkedIn now.
He's on LinkedIn now, and I gave him a recommendation. I gave him a great recommendation actually last night.
Well, the Colonel thanks you.
Yeah. So that's it's all part of the Colonel's day.
Is there going to be a Coach Tribune, and there going to be other personas?
General Tribune. I couldn't tell you that. I don't know.
I think it's hard to know where the Colonel and his family and friends will go at this point.
But, I could say safely that, through Twitter, we've been able to interact with some really key influencers, people who are not only likely to read Chicago Tribune stuff, but pass it on to their friends.
So tell me, you mentioned earlier some of the kinds of people who are showing up in town. Is it different personalities, different job descriptions? Who do you call an influencer?
I think anybody who I think we're interested in people who are bloggers here in Chicago. I think that's an important group of folks that we need to get in touch with, that we haven't been as much as we should be, given our status in the web community here. And I thought it was really important for our group here to find out what they were thinking about us and how we could get better. I think people who care about local news, those are the folks that we're really trying to cultivate.
But not just that, there are things that are utility driven. For example, when Starbucks gave away free coffee yesterday, this is something that drove traffic to the site and got people talking. The Sam Adams bottle recall, bits of glass in the beer bottles. That'll get people talking. And these are things that people need to know.
So do you see Twitter as a frontline sort of quickie news highlighter?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think rather than have that RSS feed going out, I think if you can, pick stories that people who are using Twitter would actually use, that's what's important. And, granted, we're celebrating 100 referrals. Our site did over 3 million page views yesterday. So we're not. So we've got a long way to go, but it's a start.
And it's still chasing that long tail. But even big media companies need to show that they're willing to do that, to interact with people.
And I think that's a great summary statement. So thank you, guys.